the first black high school in America that outperformed white schools. In the year 1870, just 5 years after the end of slavery in the United States, a remarkable story of vision, courage, and brilliance began in Washington, D.C. While millions of black people were learning to read for the first time, a small group of determined leaders dreamed of creating a school that could match, and even surpass, the best schools in the country. That school was called Paul Laurence Dunbar High School. At first, it was known as the Preparatory High School for Colored Youth. Later it became M Street High School, and in 1916 it was renamed in honor of the celebrated black poet Paul Laurence Dunbar. From its earliest days, the school was not content with mediocrity. Its founders envisioned a place where black children could receive the highest education possible, a place where excellence was expected and nurtured, a place where black genius could flourish despite a society determined to keep it down. From the very beginning, Dunbar High School offered an advanced curriculum that included mathematics, science, Latin, Greek, philosophy, literature, and history. While many white schools of the era were teaching only basic reading, writing, and arithmetic, Dunbar was preparing students to compete at the national and international level. The secret behind Dunbar's greatness was both tragic and ironic. Because of racial segregation, the most talented black scholars in the country were barred from teaching at white colleges and high schools. Those scholars, many with PhDs, master's degrees, and even European training, were drawn to Dunbar. It became a gathering place for extraordinary minds who were dedicated to teaching, mentoring, and inspiring black youth to reach heights few thought possible. By the early 1900s, Dunbar High School had achieved a level of academic excellence that shocked the nation. Nearly 100% of its graduates went on to college at a time when higher education was rare for almost all Americans, and virtually unheard of for black Americans. Graduates were accepted into top universities such as Harvard, Yale, Howard, Brown, Columbia, Amherst, and Cornell. Dunbar students consistently outperformed white students on national exams, won scholarships, and proved that intelligence, talent, and discipline had nothing to do with skin color. The school became quietly legendary, a beacon of black achievement and a challenge to the prevailing racist ideas of the era. Dunbar High School did not merely produce graduates, it produced history makers. Among its alumni were Charles Drew, who revolutionized medicine by creating large-scale blood banks, Edward Brooke, the first black U.S. senator elected by popular vote, William Hastie, the first black federal judge, Dr. Percy Julian, a chemist whose discoveries transformed medicine, and Benjamin O. Davis Jr., the first black general in the United States Air Force. These extraordinary individuals were not exceptions, they were the product of a school that demanded excellence, nurtured intellect, and refused to accept limits imposed by a prejudiced society. The very system meant to oppress black Americans had inadvertently created a powerhouse of black excellence. Segregation forced the brightest black minds, both students and teachers, into one place, concentrating talent, knowledge, and ambition. Dunbar became a black Harvard at the high school level, a place where young black minds were sharpened, leaders were born, and dreams became reality. It was a school that could have intimidated anyone, anywhere, with its brilliance and rigor. Everything changed, however, in 1954 with the landmark Supreme Court decision Brown v. Board of Education, which legally ended school segregation. While this ruling represented a moral and legal victory, it also set in motion a series of events that would dismantle the very concentration of black excellence that Dunbar had nurtured for decades. After integration, many of Dunbar's best students were sent to white schools, and many of its most talented teachers were reassigned or recruited elsewhere. The school lost the protected space that had allowed its brilliance to flourish. Funding dropped, class sizes increased, and the focus on rigorous academic training began to erode. What had been one of the most exceptional high schools in the United States slowly began to decline, not because of lack of talent, but because the very conditions that had created its extraordinary success were dismantled. The story of Dunbar High School is a story of both triumph and tragedy. It is a story of what happens when Black excellence is nurtured and concentrated. A school that outperformed white schools in academics, sent its graduates to the most prestigious colleges, and produced leaders, scientists, and pioneers who changed the world. It is also a story of what happens when systems fail to protect institutions built by and for Black people. Segregation, intended to limit Black progress, had concentrated brilliance. Integration, though morally right, scattered it without preserving the foundation that had made Dunbar extraordinary. Today, Dunbar High School still stands in Washington, D.C. It is no longer the elite powerhouse it once was, but its story remains one of the most powerful proofs of Black genius in American history. Dunbar showed that when Black minds are given opportunity, support, and world-class teaching, they can achieve greatness beyond imagination. It proved that intelligence, talent, and ambition are universal, and that excellence cannot be bound by race or circumstance. The legacy of Dunbar High School is clear: Black children were not behind. They were ahead. Black minds were not weak. They were extraordinary. Black excellence existed, flourished, and changed the world if only society had recognized and protected it. Dunbar High School stands as a permanent testament to the heights Black Americans can achieve when given the chance, and it is a reminder that brilliance, once nurtured, cannot be erased.